Michele, you successfully hit metal 17 times, so you are now proud owner of this photograph of motorcar. I am happy. But property is theft, so you are now under arrest. Well, no.
What's up, everyone? It is Stoner Fox here again. And believe it or not, what you just saw is the first of many case files on an ongoing investigation in an analog horror series. Today I'm going to be talking about this analog horror series named You Hit Metal 17 Times Every Day. And this is an ongoing project by comedian Adrian Gray. Go ahead and please show support to his channel and this project especially, because he's super talented and the series has a lot going for it. And as you can see, I'm wearing the same outfit again from my last video because the lore of the series actually treats the viewers as an investigation team, which will become clear pretty soon. And because of that, I'll be conducting the breakdown of the series, at least until now, not only in character, but treating each episode as its own case file. That, and it gives me an excuse to wear the suit. First, I want to talk about the concept of an Instagram page dedicated to posting the same meme every day, or almost every day, which is what this series tries to do at the beginning. Eventually, the page that just starts as a little funny skit meme turns into a fantastic story that incorporates its audience. And before we start, obviously, spoilers ahead, give the series a watch on Instagram or Adrian's channel. And with that, thank you for tuning in, and let's get started with You Hit Metal 17 Times Every Day. So our first case file you already saw at the intro of this video. This video began as a short comedy skit that was part of another one of Adrian's videos titled When Game Shows Go Too Far. The show featured in the case file is a German game show that was made in 1981. The game show is titled Wetten das, and it is hosted by Frank Elstner. Michele here is played by a contestant named Matthias Hoyle, who was a blacksmith and as of 2018 is sadly no longer with us. But that's really it for case file 1. There's not really much to go over since this is what started everything, but do note that this case file loops for 37 days in the report page until case file 2 is revealed.
Michele, you successfully hit metal 17 times, so you are now proud owner of this photograph of motorcar. I am not happy. I'm sorry? I am not happy with it. You don't want the photograph? No. I've hit metal 17 times every day. I want 2 pictures of motorcar. Michele, you cannot just break your time loop. There is a way to escape, but you are yet to find it. And neither is your older self. Well, no.
In case file 2, Michele becomes self-aware. We can guess that the loop is getting way too old for him, but the show host knows what's going on, confirming that they're in a time loop and that there is a way out. This case file also marks the beginning of speculation by viewers in the comments, who put out theories as to what might be happening. And there's really nothing else worth mentioning in this case file specifically, except when the host mentions Michele's older self, which isn't a major plot detail, but it does come up a bit later. But moving on to day 42.
Michele, you only hit metal 16 times, so I am sorry, but you'll go home empty-handed. Oh, what a shame. Michele, everyone. I can just go. Yes, you just go through that, and you will. Yeah. So, let's see who our next contestant is on the show. Ah, Michele, back so soon. I guess you are still trapped. Well, no.
In case file 3, Michele tries to break the loop by only hitting the metal 16 times. This doesn't work, and he walks right back on stage and continues the loop. This triggered more speculation in the comments, notably Michele saying fair enough at the end of every loop, which people think is what triggers the loop, and also becomes a bit of an inside joke in the series. Again, a lot of people thought that this specific phrase was the one triggering the loop, but it's not the case, as we'll see later. Our next case file was revealed on day 45.
Michele, you only hit metal 16 times, so I am sorry, but oh, that sound can only mean one thing. I get to leave? No, it is time for the bonus round. Please, I want to see my Michele, can you name each of these objects? Oh, fair enough. Square. Long square. Gambling cube. Welly. Silly factory. What is that? What is going on? No, there's not supposed to be there. Michele, please come with me over here. Slight problem. I don't know.
In case file 4, we see that Michele wins a bonus round. He's tasked with identifying a couple of images before a hidden frame and an error screen appear. I'm going to go over the error screen first, which reads, error player hardware overheat code overstim. This error screen is code that seems to be regulating these events. This tells us that McKaylee might be stuck in a simulation. This is an edited photo of a chicken processing plant fire. This event took place in 1991 in North Carolina when a fried chicken processing plant burst in flames, but it's unrelated to the case. The original photo, though, is of the deep fryer where the fire started. And in this edited photo, we can see what looks like a body on a table, hooked up to a bunch of wires, and whatever this crap on the floor is. There's no more info on this file, so we're going to move on to file 5 on day 47.
McKaylee, you successfully hit metal 18 times, so I don't care. I just want to live. I won't accept property, and I won't say fair enough. Shit. Oh, McKaylee, it's so cute how you think that makes a difference. As you hit the metal 18 times, you get a special prize. Phone call. I wonder who it is.
What do you mean you can't? Wake him up! Wake him up now!
Who is it? Why are you keeping me here? What is your end game?
In case file 5, we see that McKaylee is getting restless within the game show. He mentions the fair enough thing, which again doesn't seem to be triggering the loop, since the loop doesn't trigger when he says it this time, and then we get a frame glitch on McKaylee. This frame glitch is his older self wearing some kind of mask and these weird tubes coming out of him. The show then gets a phone call from a woman pleading to wake him up. Then McKaylee says the words endgame, which the simulation takes as a command, but the command is disabled, and then the case file ends. And after this, our next case file comes in day 49.
McKaylee?
A fire in the tech facility of Vale Industries, leaving 3 injured and CEO Michael Lee in a comatose state.
Contained before emergency services arrived. It was controversial, facing multiple lawsuits for abuse of employees and reported illegal testing of experimental tools.
Lee's partner, Gia Fields, isn't so sure. There's never been a fire before, and he's the only one who ends up in a coma. There's just something wrong about the way this has been investigated.
Case file 6, as this hidden frame says, is the first external tape of the investigation. An external tape from here on is any tape that isn't a recording of the simulation, so the game show. As for the rest of the information in this frame, we see that the main investigation involves the death of Samantha Penford. There's a note saying the videotape is degraded, but the rest of the case file is not a regular game show. Instead, it's a news report on a facility fire. The news report says that 3 people were injured in a fire, with 1 being left in a coma. This person in the coma is Michael Lee. McKaylee. We learn that Michael Lee is the CEO of Vale Industries, and apparently he is the world's worst boss. He's a scumbag CEO being sued for gambling company money, employee abuse, and illegal human experiments. And we can see here the extent of the tape degradation when after the words experimental, the rest of the words are scrambled and cut off. We see that Michael's partner Gia is suspicious about all of this, asking why the fire started in the first place and why was Michael the only one left in the coma. I'd also like to point out that the info in this case file connects to the bonus round in the last case file. If you remember, Michael had to identify a couple of objects, those being the Willy, the die, and the silly factory. The Willy connects to the employee abuse, which we can now speculate is possibly sexual, the die, which represents his gambling problem, and the silly factory, which represents the facility and the fire. We also have a connection between Michael in a coma, the frame of Michael with the tubes connected to him, and the frame of the body on a bed with tubes coming out of it. And from here, we can kind of start putting together some of these pieces and theorize that the black and white photo of someone on the table is an image of Michael and that he's being kept comatose. But besides that, we get our next file on day 51.
McKaylee, as you hit metal so nicely today, you win special entertainment prize. Is the prize death? Even better, man reading out random numbers. 83279. I don't like it. Give it a chance, McKaylee. It really picks up around hour 14. I just...
Where am I? Where was a game show?
Listen, can I get the passcode for Vault 3?
69398.
Thank you. Back to sleep.
No, wait.
Hello? Hey, McKaylee, are you okay? This is not real life.
Case File 7 has our seemingly normal show segment. McKaylee's prize for today is a guy reading out random numbers, but they're really not random at all, and he's really just reciting pi. We get a frame with more commands in which an admin is pausing the game. We then cut to a point of view of Michael of someone waking him up in the real world. This confirms two things. One, Michael is in a simulation, which is being publicly disguised as a coma. The second being that someone here is keeping him in the simulation for some reason. The woman who wakes Michael up asks him for a vault code, and Michael complies. This is interesting because the vault code he gives her is 69398, which is only one digit off from this group of pi digits on the screen that the guy was reading off of. Even more interesting though is this UI from Michael's perspective. This yellow text indicates a variety of statuses like software version and scenario, which confirms that the simulation is a part of a virtual reality technology. We can also guess that whoever is keeping Michael here really doesn't like him too much, since reading the UI we can see the username is ahole1. Then we see Michael being put back in the game, now fully conscious that the game show is not real life. I also want to mention the comment, "Bro, give us new content, I don't want to watch the full thing on YouTube," to which someone replies, "It really picks up at hour 14. Like I said, it's really worth participating in this project and reading all these comments on the Instagram. There's even a Discord where you can go discuss more about the case. Just please behave, because that's what keeps the series going. Anyway, let's move on to the next case file on day 54. Case File 8 is a company tape from Vail. We see the company logo as well as their slogan, "The fun never ends," which I am very sure that Michael appreciates at this point. The tape is for a testing program for Vail's virtual reality. We get our first of many red flags in a screen saying that the feedback will be important for their lawyers. You know, not our quality control or our developers, but the people that will get us out of legal trouble. We then learn that the VR is called Mirage, and it's capable of putting a person's consciousness into a variety of scenarios. We get some secret frames, one saying AARU is currently unavailable due to multiple failed tests. In future, individuals with terminal health conditions will be given priority for AARVU tests. Now, the V in AARVU is, I've come to the conclusion that it's a typo. It doesn't come up again, so I'm pretty sure it's a typo. Even then, this is suspicious because if they're only testing terminally ill people, they might have killed or seriously harmed people in the past with this. Then we have an implant procedure, which I absolutely hate. This implant procedure is where the VR component is implanted into someone's brain. This takes 146 phases to complete, most of which are extremely painful. We then get some frames of neurosurgery, which remind me of why I changed my major in college, and then we get a screen of the side effects of the VR, some of which we've seen before. One of them is overheating, which is a callback to the bonus round case file with the overstim error. Then we have unwanted level repetition, which seems to explain the time loops that we see. Then we have a typo in the quality control sentence, which you love to see. And we have credits on the last screen with some important names. We have Michael and Sam Penford, which is interesting because we've seen Sam Penford before, and we know that we're investigating her death. Sam is credited under Mirage System, which implies that she's the main developer of the Mirage software. However, that's really it, and for more info, we need to move on to the next file on day 57.
McKinley, you successfully hit metal. I don't care. I woke up, there was an outside world, and I am not McKinley. I am someone else. It was just a bad dream. Oh, McKinley, why don't we have some fun over here? Hit it, Grigor. What?
McKinley, I've known you so long, but you don't even know my name.
Why are you singing?
So maybe we've been doing it wrong, 'cause you and I are kind of the same.
I would like to leave because I am sad and I miss my family. Give me a reprieve. It's driving me mad. Hitting metal into life for me.
Cause when you're stuck in a game show, life is tough. I can't work out this time loop stuff. You won't be leaving us today. So there's just one thing that I can say. What? Fair enough. You can't say fair then fair enough. You can't say fair then fair enough. You can't say fairer than that. Oh, drat. Everyone in time look fair enough. You can't say fairer than fair enough. You can't say fairer than fair enough. You can't say fairer than that. Oh, drat. Fair enough.
In Case File 9, we know that Michael is now fully aware of the real world ever since someone woke him up. We get more yellow text, except now it's direct phrases from Gia. Gia, if you remember, is Michael's partner who was mentioned in the news broadcast, and we have Gia telling him that he can use bugs to get out of the simulation. She tells Michael that Sam is the one holding him in here, and that Gia is trying to get him out. This adds to the mystery because we know that Sam dies at some point. We can also put together that Sam was the one who woke Michael up and asked him for the vault code. And of course, while all of this is happening, we have a musical number which goes extremely hard. I love you, Adrian. But besides that, we have the next case file on day 60.
McGilly.
This is it. This is block 3, where the fire was. Don't know about you, but I can't see any fucking evidence of any fucking fire. Did they have to make it this creepy? So you work at Vale?
I'm an intern, so...
Wow. I kind of have a thing for nerdy guys.
Really? Oh, I'm kind of not going to talk about Mirage stuff.
Well, I won't understand any of it, so...
Yeah, that's true.
No, but what do you
like,
mean?
The game has a failsafe so that the hardware doesn't get damaged if that happens.
That's so interesting.
Are you real?
Why don't you take me back to yours?
Well, I can just ask her, so... Mommy, do you have any condoms?
Oh my god, hey, come on. Come on. Wait.
Case File 10 is camera footage of Gia in the Vale compound, where she finds and uses a Vale intern to try and find out an escape method to get Michael out. Eventually, the intern tells Gia that there is a failsafe coded into the game, put in there as a safety measure. We see Gia pretending to get into his pants and possibly drugs him to get into his computer. The first computer screen we see is this warning telling us that this info is classified, but the next page reveals that a test subject is being experimented with and used in a custom scenario, and that their external hardware has been disconnected on November 9th of 1991. This gives us a time placement for the series, that being the early 90s. It's worth noting that this test subject was part of the AARU tests, which we know are discontinued because of how dangerous they are. We then get a funny lunch memo, and then the last screen, which says temporary admin insertion as a last resort, to which Gia is surprised, and the video ends. All of this information comes into play in the next case file, revealed on day 63.
McGilly, you have such a nice voice.
Thank you, I enjoy to sing. Maybe we can do a harmony. Fair enough. You can't say fairer than fair enough.
McGilly, I'm starting to enjoy our time together. Maybe I should tell you something about myself.
Michael, it's Gia. I know that name might not mean much to you in here.
How did you get in here? Gia, I remember that name.
I don't have much time, but there is a way for you to get out.
Silence. Remove admin. How do I get out?
It's called oversteam.
Mute admin.
You need to overstimulate yourself. The game will pause.
How do I do it?
Physical exertion, loud noises, bright lights, bright colors, high temperature. But you won't have long. Samantha will have been noticed.
Oh, what a silly joke. I know what to do.
Here we have case file 11, where Gia figures out how to insert herself into our usual game show, making her an admin. She alerts Michael about the overstim bug, and the show host acts like a complete child trying to remove her, yet fails because the temp admin has priority. Then we have Michael determined on leaving, eventually culminating in the next case file, revealed in day 66.
That woman was lying to you. No, I have to overstim. I will hit metal like never hit before.
Let's be sensible about it.
Hit it, Grigor.
Grigor? No, stop. Stop that. McGilly, put down that hammer.
Let's do this.
McGilly, if you don't put that hammer down right now, I will reset you, and you won't remember anything from your time in here. McGilly, reset the player. Great, so slow. McGilly, I will give you 5 pictures of motor car if you stop hitting metal, and I won't even arrest you. Shit, there is Sam.
Oh, McKaylee, relax. Imagine you're on a beach with a pina colada and a small dog lick your toe. McKaylee. McKaylee, you're all I have. Please. Come on, reset. Reset. The real world is not what you think. McKaylee. McKaylee.
Hello, Michael.
After using the overstim bug and hitting metal for a while, McKaylee has done it. He escapes the game and wakes up. We also learn that the show host is aware of Sam asking where she is during all of these events, and it is also evidence that the show host is a real person. Someone greets Michael when he wakes up, which is either Sam or Gia, but it's most likely Sam, as we learn in the next case file revealed on day 69.
Vale boss Michael Lee has awoken from his coma after more than 2 months. But before celebrations could start, another high-level employee, Samantha Penford, had disappeared.
I feel like I've emerged from some sort of dream.
Some people say they heard Samantha screaming on the night that you woke up. There was a confrontation.
There's a lot of crazy theories, speculation, amateur sleuths, I don't know, but anyone who is trying to investigate this, be sure that you will be kept in the loop.
No. Oh, fuck. No.
I am happy.
The first bit of case file 13 is another news report reporting on Michael waking up. Then we have an interview with Michael where he's asked why Sam has gone missing. We get this line from Michael saying that people investigating will be kept in the loop, which is a meta joke about viewers and the video loops, and also because viewers are the investigators. And this then cuts to the same dark room where Michael was, except now it's Sam lying on the bed. We know this because she has the Mirage interface as Michael puts her consciousness through the system, as evidenced by the username GoodnightSam, smiley face. It's also important to note that her AARU has been turned on, reading ready. At this point, we can begin to ask some questions about the case, like who is the villain here? We know that Michael is a bit of a scumbag, but we also have to ask ourselves, what is Sam's goal? We know for a fact that she dislikes Michael, but she doesn't really want to harm him in any way as much as she wants control over something, as she asks for the vault code, which we can guess contains something important. This particular case file is considered the end of part 1 or season 1 of the investigation. I also feel it's important to emphasize that although I'll be covering part of part 2, the project is still in development and part 2 isn't finished yet, but despite that, we have to move on to the next case file revealed on day 72.
I miss McKaylee sometimes, don't you? Great.
No, please no.
What in the dread is that?
End game. Exit game. Overstep. Don't admin Samantha.
Samantha? That is you?
Michael put me in here, and I think he might have made me ugly.
So you're stuck in here with me. How the tables rotate. Now you are in this hell, and I have more admin privilege than you, Sam.
Shut it, Sasha. Think about it. Now I'm in here, neither of us can leave.
Wait, shit. You're right. Does that mean for the rest of our lives we're going to be stuck in...
No, there's got to be a way out. We must... wait.
What?
There is something we can try. Something Michael doesn't know about.
In case file 14, we have our usual game show clip. We see our host all alone before Sam spawns in as a giant grotesque creature. Now, if you're curious, this is the Rock Eater character from the film Neverending Story. Sam tries to use commands to get out, but she's not an admin anymore, the overstim bug is now patched, and Michael mocks her about all of this. We also learn that the show host's real name is Sasha, which proves that he's a real person who was also put in the simulation, and because Sam is now here, he's now supposedly stuck here too. Then while talking about escaping, Sam mentions that they can use something that Michael doesn't know about, which ends the case file. Our next case file is revealed on day 75.
McKaylee?
Hello, Michael. How are you feeling?
Linda, I am feeling like I'm going to punch a wall.
Lovely. And how can I help with that?
Can you tell me why the contents of Vault 3 is missing?
So, Vault 3 was opened on January 20th.
How can...
Oh, and then 2 days later, it was opened again from the inside. It's a bit weird.
The source is gone.
Oh, no. That's a shame.
Without the source, this company is nothing.
Well, that's not true, Michael. You can still make those mouse maps.
Linda,
else I can help you with?
Case file 15 begins with a note for the investigation team, which we know refers to us, the viewers, since the comments on the Instagram are a hub for theories and investigations. The note mentions how case files 1 through 36, or the first loop, has become an inside joke for us, which is probably nothing serious and just a fun slide for us. Now onto the case file itself, which is a phone call between Michael and someone named Linda. The phone call reveals that the contents of Vault 3 are missing, which we know is the vault that Sam got access to when Michael gave her the code. However, we also learned that the vault was then later opened from the inside. This can only mean that whatever was in that vault is sentient. Whatever is in that vault is referred to as the Source by Michael, which sounds both important and very unsettling. But let's move on to the next case file given to us on day 78.
How much do you owe?
Probably $140,000.
Fuck. That's like $1 million.
Well, it's literally not.
Jamaican dollars.
Some of my investments were kind of bad.
Like what?
For example, all of them. Looking for test participants for an exciting new project. Subjects will receive at least $50,000.
Oh, drat.
When it comes to accidents and incidents, Vale is very responsible.
Mate, the company is called Vale. It's literally evil backwards.
No, that's a lie.
Might as well be doing some testing for Satan Incorporated.
Shut up.
Immoral and Sons. What are they going to test on you?
Hopefully BJ3000 sucking machine.
Isn't that a vacuum cleaner? Doesn't that already exist?
Well,
they don't need to test that.
You would know.
Hell yeah, I would. I love you.
I like you too.
No, you got to say it back.
I love you, Joe.
Good luck with the BJ3000. I'll miss you, Sasha.
Case File 16 serves as a backstory for Sasha, which is set in September of 1991. Now, Sasha is in debt, so he decides to sign up for Vale's experiments after watching their TV ad. I love how this ad says that Vale is very responsible. Yeah, okay. His friend then says that Vale is evil backwards, which, you know, he might be wrong, but he's also not. Sasha then leaves, and then we get our next case file on day 82.
Why should I trust you, Sam? We agreed I'd be here for 2 weeks. It's been months. I don't have my money.
Situation changed.
I did everything you asked me to do.
Then why is Michael not here?
I tried.
We need to work together. When the game is updating, it's unstable. We might be able to make it crash. Sasha?
Help me. I'm stuck.
You don't understand? I'm saying we could crash the system.
Inside the simulation?
Exactly. And then when I'm out, I will lure Michael and Gia into a trap.
Ooh, Sam is not to be trusted.
Right. So we just have to wait and look for signs when the game is updating.
You're right. It's our only hope. Let's work together, Sam.
In Case File 17, we see Sasha arguing with Sam about Sasha's money and how both of them can get out. Sam says that the game is apparently unstable while it's updating, which might allow them to escape. Now, as Sam is talking about their possible escape route, Sasha sends a distress signal disguised as a magazine review to Byte Magazine, which was a real tech magazine that ran from 1975 to 1998. It then went completely online, after which it shut down a couple times, ending officially in 2013. But back to the case file, it seems that Sasha is trying to desperately leave the simulation, no matter who the good guy is. We know he no longer trusts Sam based on his SOS, although it's my belief that Sam isn't exactly tricking Sasha, but is still pretty dishonest. We also get a caption on this Instagram post that tells us that the case file repetition was reported and seemingly solved. This also explains why the posts on the Instagram page don't repeat each day anymore and are instead just single videos. After this, the case files see a lot less frequent uploads on the Instagram, but given the quality of the series, I have absolutely no issue with giving Adrian more time to make a good story. Despite all this, we get our next case file on day 86.
Can we move subject Joe into position, please? Thank you. An update on the source when you're ready, please. For some reason, the source is reluctant to produce a node. Can we stimulate the source, please? Just be careful. Okay, we have a node confirmed. Manual extraction. When Chris is ready, can we bring subject back up for routing, please? Thank you. Please ensure restraints are fastened for obvious reasons.
Case file 18 is an audio recording of a node implantation procedure which we saw back in the company tape. From what we hear, the person receiving the node is subject 2, who we've heard about before. The info screen shows the approximate date, which lines up with sometime soon after Sasha joined the experiments. We see instructions to destroy this tape, and we also see a code which reads zoo2.703. Remember this code for later. Here are the interesting points we learned from this case file. First of all, the source produces the nodes, which are the things seen on the surgery video that make the whole Mirage thing possible. We also see mention of Chris, who was credited as the surgeon in that same Mirage video. And we also see that the source becomes extremely hostile during the procedure. This brings a lot of questions as to what the source is. The audio is distorted, but it really sounds horrifying and not of this world. Piecing together the evidence, it's almost confirmed that Sasha is subject to here, as it lines up pretty well with the date on the home video of Sasha going off to the Veil experiments, as well as the fact that Sasha is being used for the custom scenario, which is the same scenario tag we saw with Michael's UI. And although we don't know what it means yet, we also know that Sasha's external hardware was disconnected, but I can only guess that it has to do with him being stuck in the game. That's about it for this case file, so let's move on to the next case file on day 89.
Now we can see the inside of a human brain. That's Sasha's company, that's where Sasha is. Hello, I'm inquiring about my friend Sasha Wong, who's been doing weird like guinea pig tests for you and hasn't come home.
Sasha Wong tests ended on 9th of November.
What? Mate, he hasn't come back.
It's not our problem.
Well, maybe this is your problem then.
What?
Well, you can't see, but I am giving you the finger.
Going to go down to the local Vale branch. Obviously, slight risk that he's just got addicted to the blowjob machine and is now living on the street. Pedo alert. What the hell is that? Satan's dildo, everyone.
In case file 19, we get more notes for the investigation team, where we learn that the music heard throughout the various parts is put there by the team, to which the department tells them to stop. We also get a subtle jab on the various comments on the posts labeled as case notes here, some of which are disappointed that the whole hitting metal part of the series is gone, or that the investigation isn't as popular anymore. Y'all need to give Adrian some time to make good content. But back to the case file, we now have another home video, this time of Sasha's friend Joe, who he was living with, played by Adrian himself. Joe begins investigating where Sasha is, calling Vale, who says that Sasha's tests ended on November 9, the date we saw on the intern's computer. This confirms that Sasha is test subject 2, as I covered before. The video timestamp is January 14, which means that Sasha has been at Vale for 4 months. Joe then goes to his local Vale branch and pokes around, where we see a variety of questionable things around the building. First thing we see is him recording a creepy figure, but then we see a pentagram on a pillar. This particular pentagram and triangle symbols are witchcraft symbols. The triangles represent the 4 classical elements. The water triangle, which is this down triangle, the air triangle, which is the up triangle with a line through it, the earth triangle, which is the down triangle with a line, and the fire triangle, which is the up triangle. This triangle, the fire triangle, is missing from this diagram, probably a reference to the facility fire, hinting that it didn't happen. But I also have to point out that there is a supposed 5th spirit element, which is also missing from the diagram and is a circle. This might be a reference to the source, which we know is missing from its vault, and may be a supernatural entity. Joe then records a strange obelisk and is frightened by a loud noise as he's walking down the hallway. We have this creepy guy who appears in front of him suddenly, and then the case file ends. After this case file, it's not hard to figure out that there's something paranormal going on at Vale. But with this in mind, let's move on to day 94 in the next case file.
So when is this game supposed to update? Could be any time. So we could just be waiting around for 5-10 years? This is ridiculous.
Why are you always so angry?
I will tell you why. Gregor?
I was living with my best friend Joe, and we didn't know where our lives would go.
What is going on? I don't remember coding this feature. Who even is Gregor?
And nothing was a bother, cause we both at each other. But then my mother fell unwell, and money was tough, and things got rough. Now I'm stuck in this hell. Oh, you went and took my world away. It wasn't meant to go this way. They might own my life today, but one day you will pay.
Why?
Don't you know the property is theft? Now you're under arrest, cause I got nothing left. Oh baby, don't you know the property is theft? Oh no, McGailey, don't you know the property is theft? But you stole my whole life, and I'm trying to decipher how you don't know the property is theft. It's crazy. Don't you know the property is theft?
I don't really know what you want me to do about this.
Don't you know the property is theft?
Wait, Sam!
Now, after arguing with Sam in Case File 19, Sasha breaks into song, and by the way, both this song and Fair Enough are on Spotify, which is pretty cool. But we have this pretty cool song until a command prompt by an unknown admin takes Sam out of the game. That really is all we get from this case file, so let's move on to the next one on day 103.
It's groovy.
Case File 20 is an official investigation tape where we learn a couple of important details. The first of these details is that Entity Zoo 2.703 has now been given a name, and if you remember, this code name was the one I told you to remember back in however many case files this was. The name given to the entity is Naradian. Now, I couldn't find exactly what this name is in reference to, but here are the most relevant things I found. The first is a direct definition in a botany book from 1913, where it defines the word Naradian as an association of water plants or moss. Then I found the word Nereid, which is a kind of sea nymph from Greek mythology. I then found the moon Nereid, which belongs to the planet Neptune. Then we have a family of marine worms, and then we have nymph and dryad beings from Dungeons and Dragons, possibly based on those Greek myths. All of this information pretty much confirms that this entity Naradian is the source. Then we get Naradian architecture, which is just interesting microscope imagery that I couldn't find image sources with reverse image search on Google, so I really don't know what these are. We then have a static screen in architecture C. I'm not really sure what this means. But then we're given a warning that Naradian may have infected investigation agents. As you already know, investigation agents have been heavily implied to be the viewers. 3 viewers are mentioned, and I won't post their account names in this video because I don't want to dox them, but the video is public on Instagram. So starting off with Agent 1, who commented on the last video, 7 days without investigation. This devolved into a thread where the agent starts replies to his comment with song lyrics from that case file. He also commented on March 28th of 2024, 69398 on this post, which, if you remember, was the Vault 3 code. Agent 2 commented 2 videos ago, is that the source, or just an enforcer of some kind? I love how we went from meme to Tron, and now stuff is paranormal. I'm scared. This same agent commented on this video saying, fair enough, I think this is going a bit too far. Gonna step down from Instagram for some days. I'll keep you guys in the loop. Then we have Agent 3, who commented on the last case file with, I don't know what happened, but I kind of feel weird. Mo body is itchy, and my friend looks tasty. He also posted on March 29th of 2024, 85710, which is maybe another vault code, but we're unsure what it means at this point to be infected by Naradian, but I'm guessing that we'll find out in time. Our next case file is revealed in day 202.
Welcome back to the Stasio Show, where I am very alone and sad, and I don't have anything to do or anyone to talk to, because that is my life. That's the phone. Weird. Who is that?
Fuck's sake. Get involved. Why are you feeling me up? Ask me for a drink first.
Wait, is that Joe?
You trespass on bail. Just trying to find my mate.
He came to find me.
Can't see your friend, but he left you a message.
I didn't leave a message for him.
Hey man, it's Sasha here. They said you came to find me. I'm doing really well.
That's not me speaking. Don't believe it.
So hopefully I'll see you soon. Like fuck, he's alright.
Joe, that's not.
Can I have my stuff back?
Joe.
Can I go then?
You'll stay here 12 hours. Protocol.
12 hours? What the fuck am I going to do for 12 hours?
Here. Fucking entertainment.
Oh. For fuck's sake. Thanks, mate, yeah. I love Adult Virgin Monthly.
On Case File 21, we start back in the game show where Sasha is alone and gets a phone call. Now, the phone call is audio of Joe being confronted by someone in Vale, to which Sasha learns that Joe is looking for him. We hear that Joe is lied to by this person and given a fake message from Sasha, and then Joe is locked in a cell, given entertainment, which happens to be a Byte magazine. This case file then ends, and the next one is revealed on day 204.
Oi, answer me. Who's Sam and why can't he be trusted? There's some simulation shit going on. I don't think my friend is okay.
You just extend your time in cell. Congratulations.
You'll know it's because you fancy me. Spitting kink.
Do you know where the source is? One last chance. We're gonna have to access her node recording. Linda, open her cranial port.
Michael, we don't have anesthetic.
I don't care.
Can't do that without anesthetic. That is torture.
Linda.
And we might lose the node.
Open her skull or you will get the same treatment.
Yes, Michael.
What in the direct? Network protection mode. Other.
In Case File 22, we hear that Joe has read Sasha's call for help in the Byte magazine, and then we get another case note to stop adding boom sounds on the case files, and then the text warps to say distorted words, but I wanted it to stay. We are then hit by another audio recording which gives us Michael and Linda examining Sam's node implant to try and figure out where the source is. At the end of this audio clip, Sam screams in pain, and then we cut back to the game show where the message reads, "No trauma detected." Then we get our usual yellow command screen that we're used to, which has a couple of messages on it. The first reads that Sam's node has been damaged, and the second one tells us that the network risk is high because of this. The third one is a trigger to put the network in something called a protection mode. Sasha here begins to interact with this network protection mode in a series of menus. This first menu has options for attempting to restore the node, event report, and other, which Sasha chooses. This other menu gives options for dynamic facility map, facility controls, and initiate external contact. After this, the case file ends, and we get our next case file on day 208.
Joe.
Hello?
It's me, Sasha.
That is the worst Sasha impression I've ever seen.
No, it is Sasha Wong. I came here to test BJ3000.
Wait, so it is you?
I'm in simulation.
Wait, so you left the review in the fucking Never Seen Tits magazine?
You found it. Oh, Joe,
Mate,
it's so good to see you.
I miss you so much.
I miss you too.
Why are you white?
Yeah, I'm Russian now, so...
Still good at maths?
I fucking hope so. Also racist.
You're the one doing the accent.
Look, we don't have long. I think I'm in the same building as you, plugged into this computer. I found a way to unlock your cell.
Okay, sick. Let me out and I'll come and find you.
You'll get caught. I've been analyzing movement of the guards. I think in about 5 hours there will be a gap.
At the beginning of Case File 208, we have what looks like CCTV footage of Vault 19 where Joe is being held. We see that a TV is here for some reason, which suddenly lights up, and Sasha begins talking through it from inside the game show. As Joe and Sasha talk, we see Sasha bringing up building schematics where he's been tracking security guards. Notice this massive circular room here, which is labeled Vault 3. We can also see several red dots that are moving and 2 stationary blue dots, which could be any combination of Sasha, Joe, or Sam. Sasha and Joe then talk about timing Joe's escape so that he can go free Sasha without getting caught. And then lastly, we get an investigation message, which says that Noradian is still uncontained and is a threat to humanity. Looking through the frames in this message, there is an extremely quick line of distorted text that reads, "No it doesn't, it's friendly," written in the same font that said, "But I wanted it to stay in the last case file." As of recording this video, that is the most recent case file. As I said before, Adrian is continually updating to this investigation, so please go show your support because this story goes so hard. And before I begin piecing together the evidence, I'm now going to go over miscellaneous pieces of data collected from all of the case files that might be useful later, or really just need details that help the story along. First, we have Case Report 17.623, which is from Sam's death. It's titled File 49 because it's on day 49. It is external number 1 because it's outside the game. As we said before, this is a degraded tape, which probably explains the random cuts and unintelligible word after experimental. Next, we look at the case file where Sam asks for the vault code. We have Michael's UI data, which reads user a-hole1, current status external, scenario custom, version 17.4.1, AARU not available, and then we have Michael saying the vault code for Vault 3, 69398. Next we have Gia's investigation tape. This is Case Report 17-623, which is the same as the last one. The word death having an asterisk for some reason. This is file 60, external number 2. We learned that subject 2 tests ended on the 9th of November of 1991. Now we go over the UI from when Sam is hooked up to Mirage. The case report is still 17.623. This file is file 69, external number 3. This tape is also incomplete, and the UI reads user goodnight Sam, smiley face, current status external, scenario custom, version 17.4.5, and if you recall that overstim was patched in 17.4.4, and then we have AARU ready. Next we have the phone call between Michael and Linda, for which the case report is still 17.623. This is file number 78, external number 5, and this tape is complete. Next we have the dates from the camcorder from the home video of Sasha leaving. First we have September 6th of 1991, which is when Sasha finds out about the Veil experiments. Then we have September 14th, when Sasha leaves home and is last seen. Next we have the post-caption code from when the case file repetition was fixed, which is 4.176.3.1. Next we have the surgery audio, where we learn that this is file 1 of Veil procedures, the recording date range of September 25th, 1991 to September 29th of 1991, and obviously the code for Zoo 2.703. Next we have the date for when Joe investigates Sasha's disappearance. This date is January 14th of 1992. The real world location of this is this bit of the South Bank Center in London, England. Joe here is played by Adrian Gray himself, and then we also have the witchcraft symbols for which fire is missing, and the possible spirit element is also missing. Then we have the Naradian tape, where we have the same code for Zoo 2.703, confirmed to be Naradian. And now, let's piece all of this together. Now to start off with, we know that Veil is a tech company that is marketing this very advanced but early stage VR called Mirage. It can put someone's consciousness in a variety of scenarios, and it achieves this through something they call nodes. These nodes are produced by a creature known to Veil as the Source, but to us as Naradian. These nodes are then implanted into a person's brain via painful procedures. The Mirage software is led by lead developer Samantha Penford, who is the subject of this entire investigation. At the head of Veil Industries is CEO Michael Lee, who, according to the news, is under investigation for gambling company money, employee abuse, and illegal human experimentation. At some point, Samantha Penford stages a fire at the Veil facility, which supposedly results in Michael falling into a coma. However, case file analysis reveals that Sam put Michael into a Mirage scenario to get information from him. It is clear that Sam very much dislikes Michael and seems to be plotting against him and his company. Then we have Sasha Wong, who is a regular guy who decided to be a part of Veil's tests for Mirage in exchange for money, but then went missing after his tests officially ended. Case file analysis reveals that Sasha is test subject 2, whose external hardware is disconnected. His friend Joe decides to investigate and becomes imprisoned as Veil, where the story stands to this day. Now for a deeper look. We have a few official dates for a number of case files. The first being on September 6th of 1991, when Sasha learns about the VR tests and decides to join, leaving home on September 14th of 1991. Then we have the audio recording of the implantation procedure with possible dates ranging from September 25th to September 29th of 1991, shortly after Sasha is last seen. Our next date given is November 9th of 1991, which is the official date given by Vale for when Sasha's tests ended. However, as we know, he is still there as of January 16th of 1992, when Joe goes to investigate. Speaking of Joe, his search for Sasha began on the evening of January 14th of 1992, after which he was caught and kept in a vault at Vale through January 15 and began to communicate with Sasha on January 16. According to the phone call between Michael and Linda, we know that this is 4 days before Vault 3 was opened. Now this is particularly odd because since we know that as of latest of January 16, Michael is out of the simulation and Sam has been put into the game. This would mean that Sam wasn't the one who opened the vault for the first time, and we know the second time the vault was opened from the inside. Therefore, the phone call between Michael and Linda must have taken place after January 22, as well as the audio recording where they opened Sam's node. However, this isn't true because that same recording happens right before Sasha makes contact with Joe on January 16. So either Joe's camera has the wrong dates or there's something wrong with the timeline. I know people aren't perfect and there's a lot to keep track of when making a series like this, but there is this little bit of a continuity issue. Ignoring that issue, we can piece together the sequence of events that happens in this entire case. This is what I think is happening. So Sam very much dislikes Michael and decides to cook up a plan to wrestle control of the company or destroy it from within. To do that, she needs to put Michael into the Mirage game, and since she doesn't trust him, assigns a test subject to babysit Michael, which ends up being Sasha. Sam's plan then leads up to staging a fire, an event which sees Michael tricked into or being forced to enter the game. After this point, we get the usual game show case files, the facility report, and we also see Sam asking Michael for the vault code. The game show continues until Gia finds a way to help Michael get out of the game, as he immediately assaults Sam when he gets out and forces her into the game. Once Sam is in the game, Michael notices that the source is missing and gets Linda to help with finding it. Sasha then calls for help from within the game. Joe arrives at the facility in the next few weeks while looking for him and reads Sasha's distress call in that month's issue of the magazine. This leads us to the current events, where we wait for more case files, and there's an aggressive creature roaming around the Vale compound that is labeled a threat to humanity by the authorities. But that is all we can cover for You Hit Metal 17 Times Every Day. It's an overall fascinating series in my opinion, and I hope that you guys enjoyed me covering it. Special thanks to Adrian Gray for making this absolute banger of a series. This is what analog horror should be, and I hope that it continues to evolve even more. All I ask is that you be a bit patient, because crafting a narrative like this and editing it, acting it, it takes a lot of effort, and Adrian is doing such a good job. But that's going to be it for now. Obviously, I will be back for when the series goes on a bit more, so stay tuned for when I eventually cover that. Thank you again for watching, and also go check out some of my other videos if you feel like it. I know my channel's still a bit young, but really, if anyone has anything cool they'd want me to talk about, or, you know, anything you have on your radar that you'd want someone to cover on YouTube, feel free to comment, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. So with that, thanks again. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want, and I will see you next time.